Okay, guys, welcome to Sports Matters TV and a special, of course, WrestleSlam, the show, aka the podcast. We're all in our rooms and secret locations all around Cork. Matt might be in Germany or somewhere, or Dubai. I don't know what Matt. He's probably somewhere in the world. We're joined by Jonathan O'Dwyer, Phill Connolly, and Matt Murphy. Lads that know their wrestling in and out. We're going to talk about all things wrestling, WWE, AEW, OTT Wrestling in Ireland. And obviously, we're going to mention the superstar on the shows as well. We're aiming to do this show perhaps twice a month. That's the goal. Hopefully, the demand comes. Hopefully, fans all around the world will say, lads, get on every day because we want more and more. But we're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of debate. I know Matt likes to debate. And as I said, there's good times to come. So, lads, how are we all keeping? How's things, Jonathan? How are you?
Doing good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, all is good, my man. I'm enjoying the weather. We should be outside by right, lads, but look, we're committed to what we're going to do, 25 minutes, and we're going to stay inside and sweat and get all sweaty. That's the key, you know? That's the key.
Yeah, and talk wrestling, sure. What could be better?
What could be better? Matt, how are you, buddy?
Doing good. Like, just trying to enjoy the weather by just staying indoors and talking about good old-fashioned wrestling with the lads. That's the dream come true. Straight from Germany or wherever, like you said, but we'll keep that a secret. But doing good anyway, Jerry.
Yeah, and I sometimes I call you Jurgen Klopp because you look like Jurgen Klopp. And you know, how's things back with Liverpool? Are you enjoying back pre-season, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, the lads are keeping well and just relaxing, but that's for another day. So Liverpool will always be number one. I'm going to get so much hate from United fans.
I love it. And of course, we have Phill Connolly, also a Man U fan, a huge wrestling fan, a man that's been pretty much all over the world with me to do media stuff for WWE. Phill, how's things with you, my man? All good?
All good. How are we?
Yeah, all is good, my man. All is good. I know you're a big AEW fan as well, so I know you're going to have a lot of info on that. But lads, first of all, I woke up this morning and WWE SmackDown was trending. Now, I don't know, was it trending for the right reason or the wrong reason, but I seen Jeff Hardy was arrested. I assumed it was real. Then I realized it was actually on SmackDown. So, first of all, Phill, do you reckon it was a good storyline and it was a good episode of SmackDown?
With everything that's going on right now, I don't think they should have done it.
Yeah.
It's just a bit too out there for, like, because SmackDown was actually taped, so they could have just scrapped it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And what do you think, Matt?
What I think is, like, I think a lot of what people agree was maybe this is a good time for WWE to take a bit of a break because everything that's going on while we get out of the empty arena era we're living in. But I know they're still trying to keep, you know, things going, people interested. So I feel like the Jeff Hardy storyline is something that they're tossing in to get people talking. So maybe like us, we'll be talking about, what happened on SmackDown last night with Jeff Hardy, and it's going trending because of this reason. Is, I would say, kind of a smart way, but then again, the wrong way at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it was a bit mad.
And what do you think, Jonathan?
You know, Jeff Hardy's.
I actually thought it was interesting. Like, when I first saw it, I was kind of like, this is, you know, I wanted to see where they were going to go with it. And I thought it was well done for the very first segment of it. But then it comes back from the break, and then there's the kind of, who's the kind of GM guy that they have there now? He's not really GM.
That's a strap Adam Pearce.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was him backstage with AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, and all those guys. And, you know, they're having a little kerfuffle about who's going to be in the US title tournament when Elias is just after nearly getting killed and Jeff Hardy's after doing a hit and run. You know, it just kind of killed it a little bit. But initially, I thought it was interesting. I wanted to see where it would go. But then it just became too...
It was like a train wreck. It was like a train wreck.
Yeah. And what about Shorty G? Shorty G beating Cesaro. That was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that match.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Yeah,
really good match.
Yeah, really happy. I'm a huge fan of Cesaro and Shorty G, so I'm kind of really thankful that WWE's looking at the lower guys to come up.
Shorty G is so talented.
Yeah,
he is.
And what about the name change? Like, obviously, when they changed the name, it was obviously a bit mad. And it was kind of cool to see Jason Jordan backstage. I think they actually had an on-face camo at one stage.
Yeah, no, he was part of the Hardy segment.
Yeah. So it's
him and Jamie Noble.
Yeah.
Jamie Noble.
And we obviously know Sheamus is back, lads. Sheamus is looking $1 million, but obviously he lost last night. Obviously, like, can you see Sheamus, win another WWE championship in the near future?
Sheamus last night, I thought, was the best I've seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
Even just the mannerisms backstage, he was just the way he was acting and the way he was kind of portraying himself.
Yeah, because
it was definitely different from the Sheamus we've seen in the last few years.
Yeah, because outside the ring, Sheamus is known to be a really laid-back, cool guy to talk to. But as for WWE title run, as a Sheamus fan, I wouldn't mind seeing it a good title run, because I wasn't really a fan of like his past title wins, about when he won the title the first time against John Cena because he slipped on some tables, and like shortly after. He was a good enough WWE champion, but I think if he had a better run, like at least not for a full year, but at least a good 6 months or so to show that he is the man and he can take over WWE. But besides that, he's at a good place. Like, he's still doing his fitness channel, which he's kind of more focusing on these days, I feel.
Yeah.
But it is good to see Sheamus back on WWE TV.
And Johnny, Sheamus, obviously, him from back in the Sheamus Orthodoxy days. But obviously, it's always good to see, Sheamus do so well. Obviously, he came back. He looks $1 million. Do you reckon he could definitely proclaim more World Championship success?
I hope so. I don't know. I think he's kind of at a place where he doesn't even need the title now at this stage. I mean, even since he's been back, he's one of the ones that has the ability to elevate himself no matter who he's in the program with, as long as he's given some TV time and some decent material to work with. So it looks like they're going to run this program with him and Jeff. And it seems like they're investing a bit in it. So that's really positive. I think he's been doing some of his best work since he's been back. His promos have been really good. His work is solid. Like you said, he's looking $1 million right now. I think he's one of the most underrated guys. His work in the ring, it's so solid. And he weaves his character into his matches as well, which I really like. The intensity and all of that. And so, yeah, no, I would love to see another world title run with him, but at the same time, he doesn't necessarily need it, but I definitely like to see it happen.
And I just mentioned one thing about SmackDown from last night, because I just want to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
This Mandy Rose segment.
I missed it. What happened? I actually missed that.
Yeah, actually the same. I missed that one as well.
Oh, definitely go back and watch it.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it, Sean?
You'll have to tell us.
Yeah, I seen it. I actually watched the whole lot of SmackDown. I fast forwarded hardly none of it last night. It's actually been pretty decent the last few weeks.
I was talking to my brother and we said that was the best episode in a long, long time.
And what was the old Mandy up there?
Good.
Mandy and Otis were having I suppose a date next to a swimming pool.
Oh, I saw that on Facebook. It was just like a meme on the wrestling page memes.
But it was really cheesy and it was done really weird.
It was funny though, I'll give it that.
It
was like a giggle out of it.
So. It was really cheesy.
No, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I'm glad you.
No, but do you think that she's going to turn on him?
I think she might cost him Money in the Bank. I think there's going to be some catch.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a twist. What exactly it'll be, I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe sooner or later they're going to work on it. Like, if we can say that she's going to turn him, but probably won't be least expected, I think. So yeah, I would see her turning on Otis in some way.
Yeah.
I think Dolph will come crawling back.
Yeah, and then we'll have to stop. Do you think the Stalker is going to be involved in the Jeff Hardy angle?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll end up being like a setup by Sheamus, and the Hacker will end up revealing it. I think that was even kind of hinted towards on the end of SmackDown as well.
Did you spot that girl with the phone that was filming the whole thing?
I didn't spot that.
Yeah, there was a girl filming the whole thing on a phone.
Interesting.
Oh,
that could be a big clue.
That's
they're trying to make it real. They're going to try and make it real life by showing the footage at a later time. I don't know.
Who do you reckon it is, lads?
True. That is true wrestling.
Sheamus. Maybe Sheamus.
Maybe Sheamus. Interesting.
The hacker or the
guy who stopped. The guy who ran over Elias.
Oh, yeah, more than likely Sheamus.
Yeah, interesting.
Whenever we mention who ran over Elias, all I can think of is who ran over Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I know.
Kishi. I did it for the Rock.
I did it for the Rock.
Lads, we have to switch to Raw. Obviously, Raw it's tipping away as always. We had Drew McIntyre on yesterday. I mentioned to Drew that would he like to have a showdown with Jinder Mahal? Does that appeal to you, lads? A Drew and Jinder Mahal match?
If the story's done right, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Phil on this one because I'm sorry to say this now if any Jinder Mahal fans watching this, but Jinder Mahal wasn't the best WWE champion. Like, let's be real.
Boo!
Boo! Yeah, no, I actually liked him.
I loved it. I think even Randy Orton wanted to clap.
Like, do you know what I loved about him was that he was just a traditional heel, and you don't have those anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like MJF is the closest.
I think if he just gets like the better storyline in somewhere, because I feel like there wasn't really a proper build-up with him and Randy Orton.
Yeah, it was very.
Just because I feel like they just tossed in. I think they just tossed in the Bahami prison match. Just because remember this match and bring back the great Khali. I remember him. He invented the match, so kind of trying to provide with shock value. But
yeah,
I know.
I just think that.
I didn't think that.
Old school heels are dying out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And what about Raw in general, lads? Obviously, we have Backlash, which is pretty much in 2 weeks away. You reckon? I have this weird feeling that Bobby Lashley is actually gonna, he's close to winning that title. I don't know, is it gonna be Backlash? But obviously, Bobby, the way the storylines are going and stuff, it's like Bobby saying, I've been waiting a long time to get this. Obviously, Drew's a man on a mission. He wants to keep that belt for as long as he can. But can you see Bobby actually, beat Drew at Backlash?
I'm a fan of Drew McIntyre, even before he became WWE champion. And I always saw Bobby Lashley being a good run with a world title at least. So I'm forward for the match. To be honest, I can't say, I'm pulling for Bobby Lashley or I'm pulling for Drew McIntyre. I'm looking forward to see who would win this one. So if Bobby wins, perfect, because he has been winning a long time. If Drew wins, perfect, because he'll show that he is what he says he was back in the day of him being the chosen one. So I can't say who I'm pulling for, but I'm just looking forward for the match in general.
And Jonathan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. Like, I'm a big fan of both of them. I've been a fan of Lashley with years. I think he just has so much untapped potential. And I really like these heavyweight matches as well. I think they've been a lost art with a long time, and I'm glad to see them coming back like proper heavyweights. It gives the match that bit more of a big fight feel. As far as who's going to win, I find it hard to call. I think Lashley he's definitely due a reign, and I'd like to see the match with him and Brock as well eventually. But it seems a bit soon to take the title off of Drew unless they're going to trade it back and forth with him and Lashley. So I could nearly see this ending in kind of a Smoz finish. And then them having a rematch at the next pay-per-view, maybe, ending the program then at SummerSlam. So I'm not sure if there'll be a clear-cut winner or not, but I just can't see Drew losing the title already. But I'm happy either way.
Yeah,
Phil, what do you reckon?
I'm the same. I can't see Drew. He's not going to lose. No way. But as Jonathan said, it could be a DQ and they just roll into the next one.
Yeah.
Can I just say as well about Raw, right? Seth Rollins has been on a roll the last 3 weeks. Like, because he was dead in the water, like Abraham said.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I'm a big fan of Rollins. He even this new look. I know he's got this new walk, a new kind of
No, the last 2 weeks he's been really, really, really good.
Yeah. And what do you reckon's next for Rollins, Phil? What do you reckon can be next for Rollins?
He's going to fight Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
And I reckon Rey Mysterio's son is going to turn on Rey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
And he's going to join Rollins' faction.
Do you reckon Dominic can be a good wrestler?
Yes, but I don't know how good he is now because he might be training. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been training with quite a while, I think, hasn't he? I think he's been training since. I think he's been training with 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Him joining Rollins to give him personality would be the best thing for him.
Do you think it'd be too soon for him to join WWE? Because I'm not sure how the training.
I think he's under contract right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You have a serious point, given the fact that Dominic has actually been on the screens for a couple of years now, but more or less the last year and a bit. Obviously, we've seen the whole thing.
Well, there's a big retirement angle on Monday, so.
Yeah. Now that Phil mentioned it about the story with Dominic joining Seth Rollins' group, would make a pretty good story. Maybe have Rey Mysterio's retirement, Seth Rollins comes out, and Dominic will end up betraying Rey somewhere, and that'll build up Rey coming out to face Seth Rollins. So yeah.
I think that's pretty likely as well. And it would be a good chance. It would be a good way of developing Dominic then as well, because Rollins is a veteran, so having him under his wing would be really beneficial to him.
And also, there's one thing that bugs me about Raw as well. Did you guys see the last episode?
I've only saw briefly. So you guys have
Hector Garza pinned Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
So on Raw Monday, we're going to see Kevin Owens pin Garza.
More than likely, yeah.
But that's
a good old 50-50 booking.
That's why people don't like watching it, because of that rubbish.
It's true.
I don't think it's as bad that way as it was. I think that's kind of improved a little bit. I haven't noticed the 50-50 booking as much in the last couple of months.
Yeah, Garza is very talented. He could easily be like Eddie Guerrero.
They just need to see it. They need to see it.
Yeah, he's really, really good. There's one thing about Garza. You remember months ago they said he was getting engaged at NXT.
Yeah.
And then he's hitting on Kayla Braxton on Raw, is it?
Yeah.
For sure, it was on Raw. Yeah.
It just makes no sense. It's like Vince McMahon doesn't watch NXT.
Yeah.
Does Vince not watch NXT? No.
I don't know.
He probably does. Vince knows.
More than.
And lads, I forgot to mention Matt Riddle. Obviously, Matt Riddle is making a move to SmackDown. We've seen a promo. Do you think they'll use Matt the right way?
God, I hope they do. I really hope they do, because I'm a huge fan of Matt Riddle. Not because his name is Matt. Let's move along there.
Bro.
It's because how he brings one of this style, brings about MMA style, about how he has this charisma that when you first see him, you would think, oh, is he a comic relief? But no, he can bring his own style to wrestling, his own MMA style, which I think is just phenomenal. But if he comes to SmackDown, if they're going to use him wrong, in really bad storytelling or comedy storytelling, it's just going to look bad on him. But I hope they put him in good matches. Maybe even a rivalry with Kurt Angle will probably be unreal to see. That would be a classic SummerSlam moment if Matt Riddle debuts and he challenges Kurt Angle for SummerSlam, probably build up and Kurt saying, no, I'm no longer wrestling, and Matt still trying to go on his skin. That's the type of storyline I would like to see and what they like to use with Matt Riddle. Maybe a slow heel turn unexpectedly. So that's what I personally believe.
I love it. Jonathan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he has a lot of potential as well. I as far as how they'll use him, I don't know. I think possibly, as long as they keep him as legit as possible, like Matt was saying, don't do the ha-ha stuff with him. I mean, inevitably there probably will be a little bit of that, and that's fine. But try and keep, he, without even trying, he has this kind of, like Brock, he has a very legitimate aura about him because of his MMA background and everything. So I see big things for him for sure. Clearly, his work in the ring is really, really good as well, and he has personality, you know. So I think Vince and Triple H definitely like him anyway. Just for them to do that intro on SmackDown for him with the angle and everything is kind of telling you something. Yeah. So I see big things for him.
Phil, what you reckon, my man?
I actually reckon Kurt should be his manager.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Yeah.
I love it.
You know, you remember Kurt Angle in 2001 with those comedy skits with Austin? I'd love to see that kind of stuff back.
Yeah. Do you think?
I think today's product with just match, kind of just, it's just stale.
Yeah. Do you think you could be a product on camo, like?
What's that?
Do you think you could be a product without wrestling? Do you think, like, you know, you could do it the smart way? Obviously, wrestle a match, then, you know, maybe
like you could show Kurt Angle like training him like in the ring and in the, you know what I mean? That show him how to do the ankle lock and moves and and then show vignettes of him training every week, and then he might fight Cesaro or something in his first match.
Yeah, no, I like that.
We'd like to see a run with the two of them anyway. Their matches would be incredible.
I wouldn't mind seeing Matt Riddle like being like the new Kurt Angle, like what Phil said. Kurt Angle back in the day doing comic relief, like haha story moments, but he can back it up by showing everyone that he is a good wrestler. That he isn't just this haha, like what Jonathan said, character about him. He's a wrestler, and that's what we can see in Matt as well.
Okay. Just before we go, I think should we just mention NXT?
Well, yeah, I was going to bring up All Elite Wrestling. We have about 5-6 minutes. Obviously, first show we're always trying to get so much in, but obviously NXT. Phil, what's your take on NXT at the moment?
There's no crowds is kind of harming it.
Yeah.
It definitely feels more, I don't know what, in the last 6 weeks it feels more indie than it's ever been.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think when you say indie, I know this is bad to say because the arena, I'm not really enjoying myself, but remember all the NXT wrestlers bring the indie wrestling to themselves.
I understand that there's constant. It just feels like there's something missing.
Yeah. I was going to say that was like maybe because we have less fans like to really build up the match, kind of especially when it comes to Keith Lee's entrance. So
yeah, true. What do you think of NXT, John?
I think I don't watch it enough.
No.
The last NXT I saw, and I didn't even watch the full show. I only watched. It's not because I don't like it or anything. I watched the pay-per-views, but I don't watch the weekly show much. The last one I saw was, I think it was Damian Priest was against Keith Lee, and you know it was okay. I think with the no crowds and everything, that's where star power, you know, becomes really crucial. And when you don't necessarily have that, and when, you know, a lot of the guys in NXT are still, you know, developing character-wise and everything, so it's kind of, it's a little tougher. But again, it's hard for me to judge because I just don't watch the weekly show enough.
Yeah, the thing is, I really like Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is really good.
Yeah.
I've only seen his entrance.
Yeah. And Scarlett, who we met in New York.
Yeah, Scarlett was lovely that day.
Yeah.
Lads, we just have to mention quickly, obviously, we have to get back to Ireland. Obviously, Over the Top Wrestling. They have a big thing launching this Monday. It's like it's a showcase, basically. And they will be showcasing the National Stadium matches, perhaps. So I think they're going to kind of rewind back to, I suppose, the more iconic matches that happened in the National Stadium. So it's Over the Top presents National Stadium Showcase, and it's going to kick off Monday at 7 p.m. And it's going to be on YouTube. Obviously, check them out on demand as well, because we love the OTT crew, don't we, lads? They're fantastic.
Yeah, we try and go to
yeah.
And they brought some great wrestlers.
Whenever OTT is like coming anywhere near Cork or even in Dublin, we try and like mark down the calendar because love everyone backstage and in the ring. So OTT to us is the wrestling event. Oh, to me, even though
it's definitely the best in Europe.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
We've met Jonathan up there. Obviously, Matt's been there, Phil's been there. But like the wrestlers they've brought these last couple of years, you know, like Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, you know, Cody Rhodes. It's just been incredible. Obviously, there's been a lot of shows cancelled due to COVID-19, but there's no doubt that Joe and the OTT crew will bounce back as strong as ever.
100%.
Oh, he will.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't know when the next show will be.
It's kind of like all businesses at the moment. Once we get through this dark time we're in, they're gonna bounce back even stronger than better. So yeah, especially with OTT, stronger, and wouldn't say better because they've always been great. So yeah, we're gonna get through it.
Definitely.
Just before we go, we should probably talk about the Stampede match and stuff.
Yeah. So Phil, give us your take.
I loved it. I just thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Have any lads seen it? No.
I've seen it on YouTube. Obviously, I'm catching up a lot because it's just, I suppose, I always tend to try and watch things on Thursday and Friday, but, you know, it's one of them things where I'm always trying to catch up at the moment due to the time factor here in Ireland, but I'm obviously loving it at the moment. It's, do you know what I mean? Obviously, you know, we see Mike Tyson and stuff, and, you know, there's a lot of things there, but I love it. I must say, it's really, you know, ratings are good. You know, the results are good. You know what I mean? The matches are incredible. So I know you're a big AEW fan, Phil. So like, what's your take on the way they're going forward? Obviously, you're a big fan.
MJF is the future of wrestling. He's really good.
And you said he was on OTT, didn't you?
He was in OTT in 18, I think, or 17.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was at the Patrick's Day show that we were at.
I definitely remember. I just can't recall. I'm trying to. Obviously, my mind is like mush at times, but I'm trying to recall it. Can you remember that, Jonathan?
2008. I don't think I was there. I think 2017 was the time I met E up there and Omega and the Young Bucks, and I'm pretty sure that was 2017.
Okay.
I'll have to try and get it on demand. Definitely, it's probably on demand. I'll have to check that out because I want to see it. I vaguely remember him. I think I can. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's telling you how far he's come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go back. I was gonna go back on like what we talked about before about like where we need to find good heels in wrestling these days. I think MJF is the top heel in wrestling at the moment because I love MJF, but when I see him, how he acts and when he cuts his promo wrestling, it just makes me want to boo him as a proper heel that he is.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him just like unique in some ways, which is weird. I'm an MJF fan, but then again, I want to boo him. So that's what makes just the best heel in wrestling, in my point of view.
He needs to be nicer to kids as well.
Yeah, it is.
I love it, lads. But lads, that's it's our first show done and dusted. Obviously, there's always so much of trying to get on the first show, but it went really well. We talked about obviously Raw, SmackDown, you know, OTT, AEW, and obviously we had a little chat. No, I just have to quickly mention, just for 2 minutes, we're going to talk about Owen Hart. Owen Hart's a legend. Unfortunately, we lost him at Over the Edge. Tragic circumstances. What's your best memory of Owen, Jonathan?
Definitely the angle with Brett. I remember really vividly some of the instances of that, especially the Royal Rumble where Owen actually turned on Brett. I can just remember that so vividly. I hated him back then. You know, I was only, 5 years old at the time. I couldn't stand him. He was such a good heel. He could really get under your skin and so talented in the ring. And it's just such a senseless tragedy what happened. But yeah, he was really special. And I think that feud with him and Brett is one of the better ones of the 90s. I thought it's really special looking back on it.
Definitely. Matt, what you reckon, my man?
Jonathan, I'm going to have to copy and paste your statements. I think the angle with him and Brett is always just going to be up there. It's one of the best rivalries. Now, I can't say, looking back on it, because it was in 1994, and I was born in 1994, so let's just move on. But his match at WrestleMania and how even if he beats Bret Hart like with a simple roll-up, he's kind of proving that he's more than just a Hart. He's more than Bret Hart's little brother. He just showed everyone that who he is and making his own way into wrestling. So being from this bratty little brother to Owen Hart, to one of the best wrestlers that we ever have, next to his brother Bret Hart, is just amazing. That's what I think is like, that's my favorite Owen Hart moment. So,
Phil, last word for you, my man.
I'm going to go a different route. I actually really enjoyed the Hart Foundation in '97.
Yeah.
I especially loved how smug he was with his slammies.
Yeah, no, I tell you, that was a crazy time. Jesus, it was America versus Canada, pretty much.
Yeah, and then you had the King of Hearts, which I thought was amazing as well.
Yeah. No,
but you know what's really sad about it? He would have had a career resurgence a year later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because all the lads coming in.
Yeah, Angle, Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe Owen Hart paved the way from all these lads to actually show, even though they're not like big or like strong, they can still back it up by showing their own wrestling skills in the middle of the ring. So, and I feel like Owen really set off.
He was only early 30s when he died as well.
Yeah, 34.
Yeah, 34.
Yeah.
Man,
I think one that's really underrated is the it's still probably my favorite cage match, is the one with Bret at SummerSlam '94.
He got his foot stuffed, yeah.
Oh man, but the way they build, I mean, that wasn't based on brutality. They really built it all on suspense about who's going to get out of the cage. The way it's done is it's masterful. The way that they did it. So I think that's really underrated. People should go back and watch that. I'd say that's probably my favorite actual match of his.
Oh, it's my favorite cage match.
Yeah. I'm going to watch it later on. That gives me an idea. I'm going to definitely watch it later on. 100%.
To me, that's one of the best cage matches in wrestling. The fact that two brothers in the ring and trying to get out, who's going to get out of the ring first, is kind of like the best situation in a cage match, I think. So
I love it. It's been an absolute honor, lads. We've done our first show. Obviously, we've got a lot in. First one's always the hardest one, but it's great to have all three of you on with myself. We're going to have the links. Obviously, we'll send out the links to each one of you. We're all going to have our platforms to put them on. They'll also be on the Sports Matters YouTube page. We're going to have a couple of wrestling stars on with us in the next couple of weeks, so just stay tuned, folks. And we're going to see Jonathan, Matt, and Phil ask the wrestler the question as well. Hopefully Lex Luger comes on. Lex Luger is a guy I want to come on, so hopefully I can swing that in the next couple of weeks. But lads, stay safe. Thank you for your time. Make sure you open the windows again and enjoy the sun, and we'll catch you all soon, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, guys.